Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. Welcome to another Getting Projects Done with me, Chris. We're continuing our work on the Mcfarlane Primaris Hellblaster Marine. So we're going to continue work on it. We're really close to getting this project done. There's really only a few elements left. Here, let me switch cameras here really fast. So I started working on the backpack. Last episode is doing the weathering. Now you may notice that the metal actually looks quite a bit darker. And that's because I started going around with the panel line, accent panel line paint, whatever it is. It's oil paint, but whatever. So anyway, I also had sealed the figure, this part, as well as the main body of the figure as well. And yeah, it knocked. I was kind of fearful of it knocking the shine of the metallic, the silver out, of which of course it did do. But I'm actually not hating how it's dulled it all down. I'm actually okay with that, because it still kind of shines, right? You can still see there's metals there and everything like that. You know, so it's not like, oh no, it's all ruined now. But at first I was kind of close to that. Especially on the nozzles, where like the nozzles become really dark. And what I had used was that Tamiya flat clear to seal this. And so then I began with the panel line and started applying it in the vents, you know, in the seams, around the details, basically anywhere where I wanted to create some separation between, you know, like the red bit and the metal bit, right? And so yeah, and so I started doing that with the Space Marine. You know, I started doing like some of those panel lines, you know, like in the belt here, you know, the little doodads, stuff like that. There's really not much more left to do as far as that's concerned. There's a few spots there in the back of the legs here. And then that'll be pretty much that as far as I'm concerned. I still have to paint the belt pouch here. That'll be pretty straightforward. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to stress that too heavily. Little vents and stuff. So you know what? Let's just start getting into it right now. Let's continue on with our panel lining. What was that? I thought I heard something. Let me switch. Here we go. So I'm hanging out over on the Discord for any patrons who feel like joining in. Give this a little shake. And let's get back to work. Yeah, so the backpack, I am pretty sure I'm all done the backpack. Now, the only thing left to do on the backpack is the highlights on the symbol. And then I got to come to a decision if I want to create some highlights, like do some highlighting on these metal bits. I actually ended up touching the figure a bit when I was sealing it. You can see a little fingerprint there, so that's why I'm kind of thinking that I might come in with silver, or I might even use the gunmetal again and reestablish those tones. It's a really fun product. All you got to do is pretty much just touch a corner and it fills in that space. So for example, I'll just go here, boom, 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 and then boom. Just like so. That's it. Like, it's pretty straightforward. It's really easy stuff to use. I dig it. I like what it's doing for me. Makes this whole process really straightforward. And I always like straightforward. We've done similar stuff like this on miniatures in the past, so it's not really a huge thing, but it makes life a little bit easier in that regard. And see, it's pretty easy just to wipe really, really fast. Now, this only really works if you've sealed the model, because then you can actually come in with like some mineral spirits or something and then take care of that. If you really mess it up. Yeah, see, something like that. Just quickly pull at it with your finger. Because it's an oil-based product, it's not drying right away. Doesn't take that long to dry, but it does take a little bit to dry. But it's pretty straightforward. I mean, like, I'm having fun with it. Sorry, I got to concentrate while I'm doing it, otherwise I'll mess it up. Pretty straightforward. I know it's pretty quiet because I'm concentrating. I still don't know. Should these doodads on the back of the legs, should they be metal? I don't know. Damn Space Marines and all their weird rules where color gets applied. If you're really clever, you can make these little, like when you, if you have to wipe away any of the color, if you're really clever, you can just use it like a streaking. You can just pull your finger and just streak it, right? If you're really clever. If you don't care about being clever, well then it's not much of a big deal then. But who doesn't like being clever? Everybody these days wants to be clever. So I want to be clever. Oh, there's a little panel on the side here. Little thingy-mabob. There, and just quickly wipe it, and wipe it. I think that's all the little doodads other than these things in the back of the legs, so we'll let that dry. It doesn't really take all that long to dry. It does take a little bit, but it's not that long. So next is, I guess we should get to work on the shoulder pads. Eh? Finally, let's get to work on these shoulder pads. So, I think that's a piece of resin. Yeah, there's resin dust all over this. I'm gonna go grab my dusting brush. I just use this scenery brush just to wipe away any dust or anything like that. Of which invariably there's tons. Especially when I was sanding the feathers and stuff. There's lots of dust. Lots and lots of dust. Alrighty. Have a sip of coffee. So, the question becomes, how do we want to go about getting this painted? Now, I put it up for a vote as far as should these shoulder pad trims be white or left red? And there was quite a few votes for doing them white, so I'll do them white. I mean, I was kind of on the fence either way. I mean, you know, I wasn't, you know, all broken up about it. So the question, though, becomes, should we weather the red parts, paint the white, or well, it would be gray because the symbol and the trim will be the same color. The symbol is going to be a white, just like the chest eagle and, you know, all the other elements. So that's the route we're going to go. But, or should I paint all these elements gray, then lay the white down, and then do the weathering? I'm thinking. Because like the red will get weathered, the trim will get a bit of weathering. I don't really want the symbol to be weathered, although we could do that afterwards if it looks too hilarious. So, yeah. I'm still thinking. Because basically if I mask this off now, the mask will stay on for a little bit. And if I weather it, because we've been using the blue to weather, the blue should work fine on the white as well. Yeah, screw it. Let's weather, or let's mask it all off and then paint it all. We'll lay the gray and the white down. So for that, we are going to bust out our silly putty. This one actually is starting to get a little bit old. Basically, once it starts to take on just a little bit too much paint, you can kind of see it's all speckly. And that's from years and years of painting, which is actually not bad. It still works pretty fine. But yeah. Oh, I need my little tool for working this around corners. Basically, I use this little, it's like a dental pick, and it's got like a rubberized end. And that's what I use to kind of push and scooch the silly putty around. Oh, I guess just get stuck in, I guess, right? So I'm just going to grab a little bit here. We really don't need that much, because all I'm looking to do is just block off all the areas that are going to be red. So I really don't need that much. So I'm just going to quickly kind of rough this into the shape that I want it to be in. Something like that sort of thing. Something like that, and something like that. Yeah. It's probably too much here. Oh well. Yeah, that is a little too much. I think I need it to be more like a skin. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of other easier ways, because the silly putty it will work fine, but I just gotta like grab just like little chunks of it, really. Nah, screw it. We'll stick with silly putty. I was thinking of using the hell is it called? Parafilm. Frick. I was thinking parafilm, but I don't know. Oh well. Screw it. Let's keep going. You know, I think I am going to try parafilm. Parafilm might just get me there a little bit faster. And I'm also thinking the parafilm might be better when we get to the bear claw side, because the bear claw side it's got like all the complex shapes and everything. Sorry, I was noticing that the silly putty was taking off the dust, so that's all I'm doing right now is I'm just taking off the dust. It's like red dust. It's taking the paint off. No. I'm just kidding. I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you know what? We're going to use parafilm. Screw it. Some of you might not be familiar with parafilm. It is a product that is used in the medical field. So grab a couple pieces here. Probably don't need this much, geez Louise. There we go. So this is parafilm. Some of you may or may not be familiar with it. It's used in laboratories to reseal jars and such. And so with this, we're basically going to just make like a quick little stencil, because all you got to do to make this work, actually I'm going to pull it off the handle here for a sec. All you got to do to make this work is you kind of stretch this out, apply it to the surface, and as it retracts, essentially, it creates a nice tight seal on a surface. And it actually will work on organic shapes as well, because as long as you kind of space this out quite a bit, it'll adhere to organic surfaces. And then all we got to do is just go around and then just blade off the excess, right? So, for example, where's my scissors? I'm going to cut this. How much do you think we need here? I guess we can just end up using the whole sheet, I suppose. It's not really that big a deal. Yeah, it's going to be a majority of it. So I'm going to cut off about over here. Just to give you guys a quick idea on parafilm. I've done a video on this on the YouTubes. But yeah, just to give you guys an idea. So parafilm, normally, when it's being used, it's just this clear little film. And you just give it some little stretches, just a little bit. You don't have to tear it, but it's kind of the similar kind of motion. You are kind of tearing it. You're just stretching it out, kind of like silly putty, right? But in a moment here, and so like for example, on top of a jar, and we just go stretch out, kind of like saran wrap almost, essentially, right? And you just go boom. Boom, and you just stretch it over, and you just give it a moment or two, and it'll form a bit of a seal. You can kind of see how it stretches back. See, as I pull on it, you'll see it wants to retract back onto itself, and that's kind of what it does. And now this lid I don't know how, oh no, there is a little gap there, but will it stop the fluid? Yeah. See? Stopping the fluid, right? That's what it's designed for. Oop, it still leaks. But anyway, that's the whole point of this stuff. It could have been the alcohol, maybe. Next thing we want to have is a nice sharp hobby blade ready to go. Now this stuff, once kind of stretched out, it does, like, it becomes quite thin, so yeah. But that is fine. So really what we want to do is we want to make sure that this is like pulled out everywhere. And we just want to give it just little tugs, just all little tugs all over the place. Just little tugs here and there. The way I kind of work it is kind of semicircular. And we just draw this out. Okay. It's really just to kind of loosen up the surface. And then we want to stretch this right over the entirety of the shoulder pad. Just like so. And what we're really looking for is for it to grab hold of edges and such. That's really what we're looking for. So we want this to be quite tight over the surface, like so. Try and work it so it grabs hold of those inner edges and the edges of the icon, the chapter symbol. All right. So now, again, here's where my handy dandy rubberized tool comes into play. Because with this, basically, I can take it and I can gently work it into these corners here where I want this film to grab hold of. And same with the icon itself. And so this is all I'm doing is I'm just kind of making this conform to the surface. Right? That's all I'm looking for. And if I do it right, it'll grab hold. Hopefully I'm not poking any holes into this. Little holes will be a problem. And so basically, so that when we come over here with the hobby knife, we can clear out all this gibbly-gook. See, that might be a problem there later. And the only reason I use this tool is so that I'm not, I'm not putting it and being rough and causing tears or anything like that. This rubber tool helps quite a bit. This one little spot over here on the leg is kind of concerning me. It's not adhering. Now, the big test is, let's kind of see how it's adhering to the surface now. I mean, we could give this a moment to relax a bit and let it do its, its thing. Which I'm thinking probably I should, but I'm kind of impatient as well. You see how we had to fold a lot of it right over everything? That was just so that we can maintain tension on the surface. But yeah. this in there. Not applying too much pressure because I don't want it to tear prematurely anyway. It looks alright. Yeah, I'm starting to tear it. I can see I'm starting to tear it. So I'll give that a sec to relax. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Have a sip of coffee. Let's grab our blade and let's just start peeling this stuff off. Now, like I said before, this stuff is very, very thin. So, which is why we were concerned about tearing it. It doesn't take a lot of pressure with the hobby knife to cut through it. Outside the outline. Looks like there's a freaking air bubble here too. Yeah, I've demonstrated this using this stuff in a previous video. I can't remember which video it was, but yeah, I have demonstrated using this stuff. Yeah, it's pulling away at the negative space. So let's see if I can pull this off. No, wait, I want to keep this. Shit. I want it off the damn Thunderbird. That's right. Damn it. See, I've already messed this up. I already messed this up because I'm not supposed to be worried about it on the Thunderbird. I'm supposed to be worried about it on the shoulder pad. No. See, I didn't do that right. I think what it is I'm having trouble with is because the symbol I sculpted, I scratched it a bit there. The symbol doesn't have any hard edges, and so that's being annoying. So, back to square one. So I'm back to using silly putty again. All right. So it's just going to be annoying, but I'm just going to have to do the best we can. So I'm just going to take little chunks of silly putty and I'm just going to scooch them around. I'm going to try to make this pretty flat as I can. Basically, I'm just going to quickly kind of rough out the volumes I need here. Oh, excuse me. trying to keep a fairly thin, even layer so that it's easier to manipulate. Just like so. I am a little disappointed that the parafilm didn't work. Well, it could have worked if I was just a little bit more conscious of what I was doing. Because I'm streaming, I feel this urge to kind of, do this somewhat, quickly. Kim, hey guys, I'm late. Yeah, hi, Kim. I've spent the last 30 minutes trying to mask this shoulder pad. Oh no, we played with the panel liner. That's right, we played with the panel liner. As you may or may not be able to tell, but the panels, the lines and such have all been given it. I've already given the figure a, what's that called? A varnish? So, yeah. So anyway, I'm continuing on my masking here. I was going to use parafilm, but parafilm just wasn't cutting it for me. So we're going back to trusty, rusty, silly putty. Trusty, rusty, silly putty. That almost sounds like a rhyme. Trusty, rusty, silly putty. Now, the pain in the ass of silly putty is that it doesn't actually sit still. It'll actually continue to kind of like melt, as it were. Stuff back. I'm just trying to uniformly pull it from the edges, make it flush. So the cleaner we get it now, the less touch-ups we have to do later. Now here I am fretting over the edges, but I'm going to be weathering this anyway, so, I guess I really shouldn't be too worried, right? I guess. I suppose. Man, come on. Oh, you fucking thing. my nail too much because it might scratch too much paint off. Okay, I think that's about as good as we're going to get for the moment. I'm going to reattach it. Okay, we're going to move you guys over here. I'm going to get our little overspray block in position. Put the rest of the putty away for the moment. Just for the moment. Put that spongy over here. Okay, let's grab our airbrush. Let's make sure it's turned on. Yeah, I'll use the Renegade Chrome just to block this in. Kim, it does the best to do shapes like that with the putty or the masking fluid or just masking tape for those. That's my experience. Yeah, well, I was using parafilm, but parafilm, because the details of the Thunderbird are so soft, the edges, that it just wasn't getting a good grip. Whereas parafilm kind of requires, you know, kind of hard edges for the parafilm to really kind of grasp hold of. But yeah. Alrighty. So let's grab what gray we use. We use this one, eh? We're gonna use light gray XF66. 66. Give that a little mixy voo. I guess this is more of a base coat, so I guess I don't really have to thin it too much. So yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about how I was going about all this whole process. So, got a paint thing. Oh, we need our... for grabbing some of the thinner. Okay. Yep. All right. Ready to go. Let's do this. So, we're going to take a little bit of light gray. Yeah, we'll pour it right in. And then we'll add a couple drops of the thinner. So just do a little bit. That's that much right there. That should be plenty to get this shoulder pad done. Or at least base coated, I should say. And the Thunderbird. We're going to throw in a couple drops. I'm not throwing in a whole lot. That's probably too much, but whatever. Again, if I ever make a boo-boo or anything like that, I'm usually not too worried about it. You know, just you just roll with it. I mean, it's just painting, right? It's not like if we get the chemical composition of the color improperly balanced that everything we do with it is messed up. I mean, that's not how it works. In most instances. Sorry, I'm rinsing my brush. It's kind of loud. Now, the reason for using the airbrush in this instance as opposed to using the regular paintbrush, because I didn't feel like it. All right, let's go. All right, let's get the Thunderbird. Okay. Give that a moment to dry. Then we'll hit it again. Hit it again. Oh, there's still lots. Okay. Does that look nice and flat? I think it looks mostly flat, no? I think so. Okay, that's it. So we'll clean up the brush. There's like only a couple drops of paint left in it, so we're not too worried about it. Empty that out. Let's grab a little bit of alcohol. And we'll begin our flushing process. Grab our paper towel. Oop, try not to get paint on myself. I probably should stop wearing good pants when I do my painting. Kim. I'm painting 40k orcs for the first time. These two I am doing are the first ever. And I must say that these new orc commandos are awesome. I always hated the way 40k orc looked, but these new ones are cool. Yeah, they are pretty cool. The commandos, yeah. I mean, they're definitely a lot better than the old commandos. The old commandos leave a little bit to be desired in their appearance. Eyedropper. Got an email from Red Gas Games that they will open up Pledge Manager for the last Kickstarter, the V2 of their wet palette. And we will get to add stuff to the order like the glass inserts they made for the palettes. They will open the Pledge Manager in the beginning of October. Okay. Let's make sure we scrubby dub most of the paint out. Hit the overspray. Spot of Windex. Let's grab some water. And she's clean. Alrighty. Next, we are going to jump over to the white flat white XF2 is what we'll use next. Yeah, we're probably going to need a little bit more alcohol. Some more alcohol. So I'm just wiping down my container. It's always important to keep your tools clean so they're always ready for you. I know some people are just confounded by that idea. What? Keep the tool clean? You mean take more time out of my busy day to take care of my implements that I rely so much on? Does not make sense. Oh, all right. I think this has had plenty of time to dry. Looks good to me. So we will jump over to the white and begin our highlighting process. Hi, honey.
Hey.
I'm streaming right now.
Just telling you
You got it? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's all yours.
It is.
So you're done.
October 18th is my official start there.
October 18th?
Yeah, because it's the week
Jeez.
after we come back from, because I told her we were going away for a week.
Oh, you're already laying demands on these people.
Well, it's already planned. And she's like, let's do it.
So it's yours.
I'll talk to you more about it after.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think. The wife is happy that she's gotten a new job. She was not happy in her previous place. You know, just the usual kind of bullshit, right? Just demands and bullshit like that, you know. Unreasonable for the amount of, you know, pay one gets. So, we're going to take a little bit of the white. We don't really need too much, but I'm sure I'll end up putting too much in here. Yeah, that's probably too much. Then, take a little bit of thinner. Now, we're going to use quite a bit of thinner this time because, where's my, oh, it's over here. Because we want this to apply, like, you know, so we can create like gradients with it, right? So we want to have a lot of thinner in there. And then use a synthetic brush just to give it a quick little mix. I've mentioned previously that I often do not backfeed the paint, especially when it's more solvent based, just because, you know, you don't want to be introducing too much air into it, prematurely dry, you know. There's all these reasons not to do it. All right. Guess I should move that stuff, right? Yeah, there we go. We good? We good. We good? We good. Yeah. All right. So, I am going to spray this mostly straight down, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the highlight mostly on the band up here. Try and build it towards the edge out here. And I think I'll try and build it on the central point and then build it out towards the edge here. Or just go for a solid white. I don't know. Kind of just spraying straight down at it. And then on the trim itself, think that looks okay. Not really fast. I do want to do the backpack. So I'm going to put my cap on. I'm going to quickly mask off, if I can, the backpack. Because I'm going to do that back eagle right now. Where's my silly putty? My silly putty! Let's quickly mask this off. Hopefully we can do this before the paint dries in the damn thing. You know, the thing. Kim, I find the Tamiya white is a great airbrush color. It's probably the best white to airbrush, and I even find that it ink splatters more than the Tamiya one. Cup. 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 Okay. Anybody wondering, that's my wife using a blender right now. What on earth could she be making? I have no idea. Cup, the thing that paint dries in, the airbrush cup. Yeah. Yeah. The airbrush cup. I'm not sure what's funny about that. Okay. It works okay. Was that it? I guess that's it. The white for the moment. Right? Yeah, because we'll do the other shoulder pad later. Yeah, that's it. Mission accomplished. Am I finishing them today? I don't think so. Because I'm going to try and get these shoulder pads done. And then once the shoulder pads are done, it's just the gun left. Right? So once the gun is done, then he's done. I think that only makes sense, right? You know, the gun, when it's done, Let's put some Windex in there. Ah, shit, I'm getting it on my pants. My pants! Alright, I'll leave that up for a moment. Put that over there. Is this dry? Yeah, it looks dry. And bang. Got the symbol done. We'll touch that up. There's a couple little things I would touch up on there, but it looks fine. Put that with the rest of the goop. Let's head over to the shoulder pad. And let's find a spot. It's kind of annoying working with it like that. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, there's a couple spots on the Thunderbird that need to be cleaned up, but that's no biggie. Just along those edges there. But otherwise, that's the shoulder pad. It still feels kind of cool, like it's drying, so we'll let that be for a moment. Yeah, the Thunderbird definitely needs some cleaning up. The trim needs some cleaning up, so yeah, I think we gotta do some cleaning up before we can move forward. Yeah, because like even on the inseam of the trim, that needs to be gray. And of course, yeah, I missed some spots there on the Thunderbird. That's okay. Yeah, we'll give this a bit to cure though. Maybe what we'll do is we'll work on the other shoulder pad in the time being. Let's finish cleaning the brush. Oi. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. For being cheeky. Flush. Kim, did you decide on a color of the shoulder pad trim, or are you keeping them red? No, we're going to do the shoulder pad trim white. I had posted a little thing on Twitter, and most of the votes were for white. So, there we go. Cheeky Desk Nurgling, subscribe with Prime. Well, thank you very much. Wow. Awesome stuff. Thank you. Much appreciated. Cheeky. For being cheeky. So if you can have a cheeky desk nurgling, could you have a... I don't know. What's the opposite of cheeky? Because cheeky is kind of like... I don't really know what the proper definition of what cheeky is. Other than being, I don't know, like... snide? Sarcastic? Joking? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Kim, I see they are white. Looks nice. Are you going in and do one of the knees in white? Yeah, I was thinking about it. But there was another thing I was thinking about with on the lower half, because yeah, he does feel very like one-sided, especially when you look, because I had posted the scheme that I was going to do, and so yeah, like with the shoulder pad, right? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of white on the upper portion, and I was thinking that maybe the knee, or I was even thinking of doing a design like on one of the shins. I was thinking about it. I don't know. Again, I get these ideas and it's like Cheeky Desk Nurgling, love the vids and such. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad you find them at least entertaining. All right. What was I going to do? Wow, I can't remember what I was going to do. I'm wondering maybe if I should try and do this one by hand. I don't know. Just because like it's so complex in here that doing it by hand might be the better route rather than trying to mask this all off. Because again, at the beginning of the video, I was trying to I was going to use parafilm because I figured parafilm would do this, but because of the way I sculpted this stuff, the edges are soft and the parafilm doesn't really grab hold of it very well versus like hard edges like the trim of the shoulder pad. The trim of the shoulder pad, it does it just fine, but it's my design itself. It doesn't seem to work very well. Yeah, I get the feeling I might have to do this by hand. I suppose I could just tape this off, right? If I was that concerned about it. But then if I want to airbrush this, I still have to mask all this stuff off in here. Oh, the pain of it all. Kim, will spread the white out over more of the fig. Yeah, if I did like the knee or something like that, yeah. I think that's probably why G-Dubs, does that for their color schemes, because, you want to balance out the color scheme, right? And balance out, the placement of color on a figure. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. A pattern in white, like white scars or something would be cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, right? Like a white thunderbolt running up the leg or something. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah. Kim, I would do the bear claw by hand and mask the rest and do the trim with airbrush. Yeah, just to get the same look as the other trim. Yeah. Well, I mean, getting the base coat down, I think maybe I'll just base coat by hand the symbol, and then I'll mask off the trim, and then painstakingly mask off the symbol. I guess that's the route. Yeah, because it would only take a little bit of silly putty just to mask this off, and then I can have tape around the edges here, so it would really only be silly putty around here. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Let's do it that way. All right, let's go back to our light gray, because we're going to have to use the light gray anyway, just to fix up the other shoulder pad. But yeah. Cheeky monkey, or cheeky monkey, cheeky desk nurgling. Excuse me. Have you been following along my work for a while, or are you relatively new to the whole thing that is my silliness? I'm just curious. Not like I'm, oh, fuck, I just freaking fuck that up. I'm talking too much. I'm going to stop talking. So I'm just using this brush to do the bulk of the surface, and then I'll come in with the fine tuning brush. Initially I was thinking of doing this symbol in black, but I think I am going to do it in white, just because. I mean, we could do the trim right now, but I don't feel like it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was just curious. Quite a long time, been watching on YouTube for a long time. Cool. Kim, should join us on Discord then. Yeah. If cheeky nerdling feels like it, they most certainly are welcome to join us in the Discord. Of course, they might already be in the Discord. We don't even know, because there's so many people in the Discord that, you know, just hang out. They don't really say much. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, we'll give that a moment to dry before we start screwing around with it. I hit that spot and I hit that spot over there. Arg. Hate when I make dumb boo-boos. Dumb boo-boos. Alright. Yeah, we're going to clean up the Thunderbird first. For that, we need some more coffee. Oh, Cheeky Desk Nurgling. Join us on Discord. Well, thank you. Did I finish rinsing the brush? Yes, it is. I couldn't remember if I left cleaner in my brush, my airbrush, or not. I do that sometimes as well. Sometimes, like, because I'll leave like the Windex or alcohol sitting in the brush just to, you know, kind of break up whatever's in there, and then I'll forget about it, and then yeah. Yeah, do that sometimes. All right. See if we can do this without screwing this up too much. Now, on some of the areas, we can clean it up fine by just coming back in with the red and then just fill that space in. But yeah. And if I was a really good sculptor, I would have did this nice and clean without any funny little edges to it. That's only if I was a good sculptor, though. I'm not. Spoiler alert. some of these interior spots. I'm kind of tempted to hit them with the panel line, just to really create some contrast there. It's kind of rough. I'll have to hit that one again. I'm not too worried about, bumping out into the white or into the red, because I can always come back in with the red, and the red sits on top of it very nicely and makes it look very seamless. But I think I need to close this jar up here in a second just to rehydrate the paint. Yeah, I better close this up. Rinse off a brush. There we go. Where am I? Cheeky Death Nurgling. Have you seen the one guy who made one of those into 1,000 Sun? Yes. I seen the Chaos Warrior that looked a bit like a Corn Warrior. And somebody posted on the Discord, actually. I think the 1,000 Sun one he just recently did. I assume it's the same dude. He's really, really good sculptor. He's really good. Oh man, that's looking good. But I always thought you were great with your red. Your Eldar are awesome too. Well, thank you. Yeah, I do enjoy painting red. Red is one of my favorite colors. Kim, did you see the Blinded by Daylight guy doing the 1,000 Sun Rain from the Mcfarlane one? I think that's what Cheeky was talking about. Yeah. Somebody had posted it in the Discord. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was Kim. Kim just said, yeah, I posted in Discord. Oh, so that's who it was. Okay, so with the little cleanup there, the Thunderbird definitely looks a little better. I'll probably have to come back in with white and just reestablish some of the edges there, just to kind of neaten that up. The rough sculpting that I did to it kind of gives it a bit of a stone-like appearance. I'm not sure I really want to lean into that, like make that look like stone. I always liked in the background, and at least it was in the old background, how Terminators, right, the veterans, they get the Crux Terminatus, and that the main portions of the Crux Terminatus are made from stone from Earth. So it's like a sacred stone from Earth. And then, of course, little bits of, I guess, the Emperor's armor are, like, melted and, like, form, like, rings or design, whatever, in the Crux Terminatus. And, that's why the Crux Terminatus is so important. Although I don't know if they still run with that kind of vibe. But, yeah. Anyway. Back to the cleanup. It's kind of tempting to come back in with like a light gray, almost like a shade wash, and hit this, just so it falls in the recesses. That up. God dang it. It's alright. We're coming back in with the white anyway. Yeah. Well, definitely looks a little bit better, especially with the darker gray, or the lighter gray, I should say. On the edges, just helps the frame, the symbol itself a little bit better. I guess we should work on the trim now, eh? May as well. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why I'm fretting so hard to clean this edge up, because I'm probably going to weather it and knock it all out anyway, like the clean edge. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure why I'm bothering, but we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. How's the weather over there? It's chilly here in Alberta. Is it chilly already? It's starting to cool off around my parts. My parts. Yeah, I'm in Ontario. I'm in the Niagara Falls area. I don't know if you've ever been this way, but it gets very, very warm around here. We get a lot of humidity. And yeah, this year actually wasn't that bad. It was warm. Like August was very, very warm, but like June, July, usually it's pretty warm around here. And yeah, it wasn't really that bad. Those months anyway. And then the last couple days it's been getting cooler. I think right now we're only at like 25, maybe higher. The sun's warm today, but the air is nice and cool. So once the humidity starts going away, that's when the weather is definitely a lot better in these parts. even despite me kind of messing up the trim, it definitely looks a little bit neater. But here it's like really bad. It's all jagged here. I didn't clean that putty up very good. Oh, how will I live with myself? And again, I don't know why I'm really kind of fussing this, because, yeah, when I do the weathering, it's just going to mess it all up anyway. But anyway, that is that. Give that a few moments to dry. Give the brush a rinse. Kim, it's getting cold here now. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, you're up in tundra, for God's sake. You're up in the Arctic Circle. I'd be more surprised if you told me it was really sunny out and warm, and there was tropical trees starting to grow there. Then I'd be really surprised. But Kim telling me that in Norway it's really cold, I'm not really shocked. I mean, you know, I don't want to generalize, but when you live near the Arctic Circle, it tends to get cold. Cheeky Desmond Nurgling, it's 10 here today. Oof. We had frost this morning. Wow, you guys are already getting frost. It's only September. It's getting late September, but I don't even know what the temperature is around here. Let's see. Let's grab the trusty rusty phone. And the phone says, survey says, it's saying it is 24 degrees right now, partly cloudy, high of 25, low of 11. That's what we're saying. That's the official weather report. If we're going to be all official about it. Oh, excuse me. Kim, I live on the north side of the Arctic Circle. Jesus. Ooh, nice day out. Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice. But this area, it's nice for most part. But when it gets really, really hot, holy man, when you add in the humidity, like if you don't, like I don't know how much humidity Alberta gets. I don't really see it getting humid very often, just because it's the prairies and there's not a lot of large bodies of water around you. Yes, I'm sure there are lakes, but I mean, where I'm situated, I mean, I have Lake Ontario to the north of me, and I have Lake Erie to the south of me. And these are big frickin' lakes. And they throw in tons of humidity into the area. Kim, and yeah, we had several frost nights already. Well, yeah, again, Kim, I mean, you know, I'm hardly shocked. I'm hardly shocked that you're already getting frost near the North Pole. You know. Again, I'd be shocked if you had tropical animals migrating to your area and tropical trees were starting to grow and it was really, really hot right now, you know. Then I'd be kind of surprised. But saying Norway is really cold, come on. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. So I'm working on a 30K Robo Gilliman and I'm having trouble painting marble. Yuck. I do have a couple videos on my channel, my YouTube channel, of, you know, some quick ways of, you know, achieving a marble effect. I don't think I show an airbrush method though, do I? I don't know if you have an airbrush, but doing an airbrush. But what are you working on? You're working on a 30K Reboot Gilliman. So are you doing the base? Is that what you're doing? You're not doing his armor marble, right? You're doing his base. Yeah, I've done like, I think there's like, it was like a series of like 4 videos showing like various ways of achieving a marble look. Now, is it, like a one-to-one translation of marble on how we view it in reality? No. It's more designed for how we do it for miniatures. So, yeah. Again, most of my tutorials are really kind of geared towards that. Just kind of quickly getting you into it and, just kind of help you out. Just basically try and take some of that apprehension out of there. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who think, like, oftentimes we end up defeating ourselves even before we start painting, right? Well, I can't do this. Well, I don't know how to do this. And how would I even go about painting this? And, you know what I mean? All these questions. And, we are often our own worst enemy. And, so I like to think that some of the tutorials that I've made help a lot of people overcome that initial fear of trying something, doing something, and achieving a particular effect. Because oftentimes I show how easy this really is. Because again, if you've been listening to me for any length of time, I say that this ain't rocket science, right? So, yeah. And it ain't. I'm a firm believer that this is not rocket science. This is not that difficult a thing. Because if it truly was that difficult to do miniature painting, there would be a lot fewer people doing it. And you also wouldn't have as many people becoming very, very good at this very, very quickly, right? Because that's a trend I notice these days, is that people who are even relatively new to this hobby, they just, effort and practice, but yeah, they progress into really great painters really, really quickly. I mean, I think obviously we have the internet to thank for that, but yeah. In hindsight now, I'm wishing I was a little neater when I was finishing off this green stuff here. Just a little bit. Even working with green stuff, I mean, like, for a long time, yeah, I was really apprehensive about working with green stuff. Doing it wrong, and again, we're often our own worst enemies in these regards, right? Because it's often just a confidence thing, right? We lack the confidence to really kind of take that first step into doing something and trying out something different and trying out an effect and really kind of working out how to do something, right? I in part I imagine too it's also laziness as well, because for some they couldn't be bothered with learning some of this stuff. They don't see the value for themselves personally on how they can benefit from doing a lot of this stuff, and on how it can benefit them in their own life, because it can. Now, am I saying that you're going to go out there and paint a miniature and then it's going to be amazing? No, but the discipline to sit down and, concentrate on something for any kind of fixed amount of time, that is a character trait to develop, because patience is very important. And this hobby itself, if anything, it can teach you patience, right? Cheeky Desk Nurgling. Yeah, that's me. Even though I've been painting for like 20 years. Yeah. I mean, I've been at this since '88. So, But yeah, it seems like kids these days can 5 years, and they're at very high levels. Kim, your stuff is mostly pretty great. I do think it's easy to digest for new people. Well, yeah, that's kind of where I concentrate a lot of my effort. There's so many people out there, who want to display advanced type painting, yet so few people actually follow it. And really, where people really need help is at the beginning, and it's up to somebody else to, if they want to pursue it where, they want to work on display or competition type painting, well then, yeah, go right ahead, I don't mind. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. Internet to thank also. The paint quality has come leaps and bounds, and so many brands to choose from too. Oh, brands of paints? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't get caught up in paint brands and brush brands and brand names. I'm not a brand name kind of guy, If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, yeah, then I don't use it. I mean, I use Citadel for the most part, and people shit on Citadel all the time. I'm not 100% sure why, I think a lot of it just stems from, well, I use Vallejo. You know what I mean? Like, I've used Vallejo too for many years, and it's like very little difference between the two. Very little. The only time, and especially for new people, telling new people who are brand new to this hobby that to stop buying Citadel and start buying, Vallejo or something like that, that does not help new people. That does not help a new person. You are not helping anybody when you tell people things like that, especially when they're new. Now, having a discussion between two experienced artists on what colors and, paint brands they prefer, sure. Because they're often into the more nuanced techniques and, things of that nature. And so their experiences will be very different. But again, between two artists, it is kind of apples and oranges, because one painter does a thing a certain way and another painter does a certain thing another way. And it's not really a good, bad thing. It's just their work process, right? So it really, telling people Citadel paint is shit and, Vallejo paint is superior to a new person that has no meaning other than than telling them. They don't know why. And nobody seems to ask those questions. Why? Well, why is this brush better than this brush? Please explain, right? Why is this paint better than this paint? Please explain in detail. If they really know what they're talking about, they can tell you. If they don't know, then they're just going to spit back jargon points at you, or I don't even know. They might not even answer your question because they don't know. Kim, I must say that you're my favorite content creator. Well, thanks, Kim. That warms the cockles. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. I just don't want to excuse my French, the model. He is my army's part mark. No, definitely. And yeah, I mean, like, taking your time with a centerpiece model, yeah, all the time, right? Rank and file, sure. Blast right through them, slap some paint on them, you know what I mean? Get them done. Or you can spend a lot of time, it's really no biggie. But yeah, Gilliman, yeah, you definitely want to take your time. because he's a centerpiece. He's a character, and you know you're going to have all your Marines standing around him, but everybody who's viewing your army is going to go right to Gilliman, right? So yeah, you definitely want to spend some time on him. Spend some time. Kim, I've only painted for 4 years now, so I have grown ass man before I got really into this hobby. Yeah. Cheeky Desk Nurgling. Oh, I love Citadel. Yeah, I mean, like, I like all kinds of paint. I mean, whatever paint gets the job done. I've been playing a lot with these Tamiya paints lately, and I've been having a lot of fun with them. You know, there is a learning curve to these paints, but it's fun. And I like how fast they dry. I like how durable they are. There's a lot of things to like about Tamiya colors. Yes, there's some down points to that, but there's down points to every paint line. There is no perfect solution out there because the very nature of this hobby, because it is very art related, and it is very open to interpretation, as art tends to be. And so is the materials we use. It is very open to interpretation as far as, you know, what paints we're using, what colors, you know, which techniques, and all these things, right? Anyway, my point being is I don't get caught up in that rigmarole of, well, you got to use these paints, you got to use these brushes. When I was younger and less experienced, yes, I was heavily influenced by those opinions. As I've gotten older, no, they don't matter. As I developed and grew as a painter, as an artist, yeah, no, it didn't matter. A lot of people tend to think that this is some sort of highbrow exercise, and it ain't. This is just short of painting by numbers. And some people seem to think that this is some sort of high art exercise, form of expression. I would disagree. Although, I will say, I do wish I was a little better at my frickin' sculpting. Maybe I should do more sculpting. Take some classes or something. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta clean this lid off. It's getting kind of sticky to close that. Where am I? I missed some comments here. Hold on. Kim, paint brands are more my kind of jam, and as you know, I have nothing against Citadel color if you exclude the metallics, since the metallics suck ass in my opinion. If the paint's good, it doesn't matter what brand it is. Yeah, but I mean, like, I've seen people paint very well using cheap dollar store, you know, Walmart brand acrylic paints. I've seen people paint very, very well with those paints, those cheap ass dollar store paints. And so it is not the paint that makes for a good miniature. It is not paint that makes you a good painter. It's the time and practice, right? Greenleaf Terrain. I started a streaming channel, Way of the Crotch. Should I have like a crotch cam going on? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? God, I hope not. Cheeky Death Nurgling. Oh my God, have you seen the Hellbrick model? I saw a thumbnail. Oh yeah, on the Discord. Somebody posted in Discord. Who was that? Oh, it's Kim. Wait, was that Kim that just asked that question? Oh no. Yeah, there's a new Hellbrick model, and Kim posted a picture because they're doing a bunch of the what is it? Gen Con. Kim, I like the 2 servitors on his base better than the model. I guess. I don't know. He's Black Templar. I mean, he's cool. Same with like the Emperor's Champion. It's cool. Yeah, it's a Space Marine. I mean, with a big sword. You know. Sure. Kim, I like the 2 servitors on the base, but then I'm not really a Black Templars. Yeah. Greenleaf Terrain. I see a mistake. Oh, I've got tons of mistakes on this, man. Tons. I mean, like just to start off, I mean, the sculpting realistically is very atrocious. The sculpting, we can come out and say it. It's ass. The sculpting was ass. Where am I? Kim, Richard Gray paints mostly with Citadel if that would matter for anyone, but if they think Citadel is bad, have a look at his work. Right, exactly. I mean, it's like so many of us who paint Space Marines and paint a lot of the GW stuff, most of us started in Citadel, and most paint in Citadel. Sure, they have, Vallejo colors and Scale 75 and, all these different paint brands. Sure, right? I mean, typically, if you're venturing into other paint brands, it's usually because the particular paint line that you're working within doesn't have a particular shade that you're looking for. And rather than mix it all the time, because say you've got a whole bunch to do, you want some consistency, right? Sure, absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's pretty much how before I actually started doing all this stuff professionally, that's the only reason I got into Vallejo, because I started off I guess when I started painting miniatures, I did not know what I was doing. So this was the late 80s. And my painting was Citadel colors, Ralpartha acrylic paints, and testers, enamels. Because I didn't really understand the difference between the enamel paints and the water-based acrylic paints. And so you can imagine what kind of hilarity ensued from that. But I was a kid, man. I mean, come on. But I remember, I used to use testers because I used to really love testers ruby red, because it had a clear finish, or slightly clear finish, and it was glossy, and it was perfect for doing blood on weapons. And I definitely wanted to do blood on my weapons because, again, I was a kid. And I grew up in the 80s with lots of action movies, and a lot of those movies have lots of blood in them. So, I'm not saying that it's a direct correlation, but there definitely is some similarities there. You know what? I am okay with the symbol being gray as we go into light, like white. Yeah. I am okay with it. It is tempting, though, to hit it with something like a shade wash to pick out some of the bad sculpting and actually make that work for me. Make that actually kind of have like a bit of a stone-like texture to it. I am toying with the idea. I'm toying with it. Okay, we'll give that a few moments to dry. Because then we'll quickly mask off the shoulder trim. Once this is dry, and then basically what I'll do is I'll cover the entirety of it. Just so we can get the gray on the trim. And then we'll deliberately pick out... Well, I guess we could probably do it at the same time, I guess. I don't know. Again, I'm making this up as I go, right? So, all right, let's jump back over to this shoulder pad. Do I feel like cleaning up that red right now? I suppose we could, right? Yeah, we might as well do it now. All right, I'm going to use flat red XF7. And we're going to just clean up some of the little splooches. Oh, yeah. Time we at here? Holy. Is it? It's already been almost 2 hours? Really? Really? I did not. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. I mean, we're pretty darn close to being wrapped up with this figure. I mean, like, with the figure himself is pretty darn close to being done. Sure how I did that. You ever make a mistake and go, geez, I don't even know how I did that. How on earth did I even manage that? That's me most days. Just cleaning that up. Kim. Cheeky desk nurgling. Time flies when Cheeky is here. Yeah, no kidding. Kim, yeah, it means a longer show today. Going for that 5-hour mark. Yeah, I don't know how some streamers do like 5 hours on here. I don't know. Is streaming a young man's game? Or woman, I guess. Like, is this a game for the young? Yeah, see? Just clean that up just a little bit. Just a little bit. The gray, I think the gray is going to get covered over anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Because I mean, otherwise I can sit here and go back and forth trying to neaten all this shit up, right? And you know it, when Chris goes quiet, he's concentrating. I'm sure many of you can smell the smoke from where you are. Kim, probably for the young. I don't know. It's only 5 years between you and me. Yeah. We are kind of long in the tooth, aren't we? I don't know about you, Cheeky, but I'm old. Getting old. All right. Yeah, so we got some of the boo-boos like here and like over here. I'm not too worried about it. And same with like the gray kind of bleeding over to the red over here. If I really feel that strongly about it, I mean, we could clean it up, but I'm not that concerned about it. So I think we can just jump into some weathering here. The Thunderbird is nice and cleaned up. I'm happy with that. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I feel like doing it like stone, because like my work on the green stuff on it, I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but you can kind of see some like bump unevenness on the surface, and there's kind of like little nicks in it and everything like that. And it leads me to think that I might want to do it more like a stone. I don't know. Again, that's just me, trying to make lemonade of my shoddy sculpting abilities, right? So, yeah. Cheeky Death Nurgling, 41. Oh, okay, so I'm just a bit older than you then. Because I'm this many 40s. No, not 40s. I'm 40. I'm this many 40s. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Kim, born in 6 days into 1980, so was almost a 70s child. You're almost a 70s child? Well, if you're born in 80, you're not almost a 70s child. It's like saying you were almost child of the 60s. I mean, no, you were born 1980. I mean, you were born 80. That's it. Greenleaf. Grandpa Brush. Actually, it's not bad. That's not bad. All right, we're going to jump over to Sea Blue XF17 from Tamaya. I'm going to grab a little bit of sponge. Yeah, we'll grab some of this right here. There we go. Where's my tweezers? Hey! Oh, I was about to get mad. I was going to say, somebody stole my tweezers. I don't know who. Who would want to steal my tweezers? There we go. That's quite a bit, actually. Let's go for a corner piece. Something like that right there. Because we are going to want to kind of be a little bit accurate. Just to catch the trim of the shoulder pad. Kim, yeah, under a week after 1979 ended. So you're saying that you were just about there. You were. if mommy could have spat you out a little faster, you'd have been 1979. I'm not sure why you'd even want to be a 70s baby. Those were dark days. Those dark days, man. Not that I would really know, because I was 5 by the time 1980 rolled around. So, although I do have memories from, they would have to have been the 70s, because I can remember like just being on the bus. I can remember going to daycare, where I'd have been 3 or 4. So, yeah. Greenleaf. Love learning from my elders. Teaches Grandpa. Funny guy. Adam, don't ever stop being a funny guy. All right. Let's do the weathering. So, just grab a little bit of paint. And let's just start hammering away at a model. Now, I don't want to do too heavy a chipping on the white areas, just because we have that nice even tone going on. But I do want some damage. But I don't want too much. But I also said that about the red areas as well. And I ended up doing quite a bit on some areas. definitely don't want a uniformity either. I wasn't sure to use the undercolor as well, the same that I've been using on the armor, but I think I'm okay with it. And I do like how it's breaking up that surface and not making it look so pristine. Now the red is definitely going to get the chipping as well, but I'm just not 100% sure if I'm going to do it on the Thunderbird. It's like on the red here, we'll go ba-dunk, ba-dunk, like that, yeah. On the edge of the shoulder pad, I'm trying to catch just the edge, so I'm trying to do it like a dry brush almost. Like something like that. So it might get a bit of a pull going on, but that's okay. Fine. Catch the trim here. And of course, if we really want to, pick out the trim a little bit better, we can always do it by hand as well. But on the inside part, yeah, I'm treating it more like a dry brush almost, where I'm kind of moving. And if you look really carefully, you can see I'm pulling that paint and it's streaking. Just going to give this another shake here just to move the paint around. Kim, I think some of my earliest memory of me is sitting in the living room floor and watching Masters of the Universe on VHS. Then I was about 4 years old. Don't remember anything before that. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, like there's some things like I can recall, but like how old I was, I'm not 100% sure. I know it was when I was really, really small though, because I can remember a daycare, and I remember a kid getting his diaper changed and peeing everywhere. Not like everywhere, but you know what I mean. You need some of these bigger ones in there just to make it happen. You know what I mean? Make it interesting. Yeah, like that. Let's do one over here. Yeah, just like that. Right there. Right there. Nice big chip out of the armor. I think I'm mostly okay with all this. Right there. Oops. No, see, I messed that up. I didn't want that. But that's okay, because we can integrate it. We can make it look like it's supposed to be there. We have the technology. Disflux. Aneen, Chris. Aneen. Anybody who doesn't know, that's Nishnabe for hello, greetings. How's it going? How you doing? I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. I'm gonna fudge this apparently. Cheeky Death Nurgling. Apparently, I peed in the doctor's face when I was born. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna make this look a little bit more like it's coming over here. You know what? Let's make it look like a scratch. Let's go like this. Let's go whoopa, like that. Because we had so much fun doing that, let's do it right here. Whoopa. Whoopa. Like that. We'll darken that up right there. Yeah. Just so it makes it look a little bit more like, kind of almost like impacts. Know what I mean? In fact, just for giggles, let's do one over here. Let's do... yeah, let's do it like right here. Bunch of damage right here. So let's go whoojunk, whoojunk, and maybe whoojunk. There we go. Yeah, make a nice big impact here. See what I mean though? Like how we, even with the brush, we can still make it look pretty darn messed up around here. Okay. That's it. Not too much. Not too much. Okay, so next, what time we at here? Holy cramoles, we're 11 minutes OT. I'm going to quickly jump over to the metals and hit this with some metal. Like some heavy metal. Where's my metal? There it is. So for the metal, I've been using gun metal. I know, shocking, right? Now, one thing I will say is that when I do the metal, like here on the helmet, you can see how like fairly bright it looks, like on the edges and everything like that. I'm sure you can kind of see that, right? So when I hit it with the varnish, because I've been using flat, Tamiya flat, it actually, like if anybody recalls from the previous episode of what the backpack looked like and how bright the gunmetal looks, like see how bright the gunmetal looks? When you hit it with the matte sealant, holy shit, it knocks a lot of that shine right out of it. It is still shiny, but it makes it look dark. And so, yeah. It is kind of interesting, though, like how heavily weathered it looks and then leaving the icon in this pure white. Not pure white, but like stark white. I kind of dig it. It's the same thing with the chest eagle on the main body. Like I was wondering if I should weather the chest eagle, but I kind of like how it looks in this really harsh white. With all the little bits of weathering and the texture and, you know, all this fun stuff. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. And fun is fun. All right. What was I doing? Oh, I was going to do another pass with the metallic. Just for consistency's sake. Oh, we got a nice little wedgie shape right there. It's a wedgie. Let's grab our clamping tweezers. There we go. Somebody contact me on Discord. Oh, somebody sent me a private message. Okay, you guys don't need to know that. Never mind. Stay out of my business. Kim, you mean still 2 hours and 55 minutes to go? Are you using the flat varnish or the clear varnish? It's the flat clear. It's Tamiya flat clear. TS80, I think, is the number. It goes on really nicely. It almost feels like it's melting the surface and melding all of the layers of paint. Let me see here. What is it? Yeah, it's TS80. It's Tamiya Flat Clear. That's what I've been using. And I've probably used only about a quarter of it so far doing the figure. So there's plenty left to do the rest of the figure. But because it knocks the shine out of the metallic, I'm kind of reluctant, especially once we get to the gun. Unless, of course, I use like a gloss, because like I still need to varnish the helmet, but I haven't hit the helmet yet. Well, I do need to hit the helmet, but I'm definitely gonna block off this the design on the forehead, because it has this nice shifting going on, and I want that to preserve. So I'm definitely gonna hit that with gloss, and then protect it, like mask it with something, and then spray the sealant on the helmet, and then do the panel line wash for the helmet, because like the little mouth vents need to be done. There's little areas I want to create some black lines and some separation. It's all about creating separation, right? But yeah, so let's quickly get this shoulder pad weathered, and I guess I can seal it and move on, I guess, right? Right. Kim, I got both, and the clear that comes in the pots, like the other paints, is there clear paint line paint? Is there clear paint line paint without color? Whoa, what? The clear one is X22. Oh, like, yeah, so it's coming in a bottle, and does it finish with a gloss, or does it finish with a matte? Well, X22, I guess I could look that number up, X22. But yeah, so the spray I have, because, right, TS, I assume, is because it's referring to, it's the spray cans. Because I think all the spray cans have this TS. So that's what I'm using. It goes on, it's just 2 quick pumps. You can see it, like, gather on the surface, and then it dries with a matte finish. And I mean, like, I've been using like this Tamiya flat red, and it dries very, very flat. So for all of you out there who love your flat colors, yeah, these Tamiya colors, when they finish flat, they are flat. And even that flat varnish, it is finishing very, very flat, because I mean, like, the figure itself has been given like an even spray. And I mean, like, the red still looks really, really great. The only thing is that it killed the metallic shine. But I'm okay with that dulling of that metallic, because it actually looks a bit like dark armor, and it actually works well with how the red looks. And so I'm actually okay with how that all went. I kind of figured that the matte varnish would knock out some of the metallic luster, but, you know, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. It's a gloss. Okay. Like the clear red or blue or asterisk, you get the idea. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a clear, so it finishes glossy. Yeah, I gotcha. No, that's that flat clear. Yeah, that's intended to be a varnish. Well, it's a flat clear. So what you use it for really is entirely up to you. It's not like it has to have that one job. And I think that's one of the to go back a bunch of pages that we were talking about earlier, like about paint lines and stuff like that. Also, I think that's the other thing that we get a lot of these days is, you know, the idea that a thing can only do one thing, and, you know, that's kind of false. So now we're just going to build up these edges here. The metallic on top of the white is not very apparent, but I imagine it'll become more apparent once it gets varnished and it gets knocked down. So maybe the varnish is the right way to go here. Just want to lay some heavy amounts down some places. Not too much. Yeah, I imagine once I hit this with the varnish, though, yeah, the silver bits will become dark. So that's why I don't want to overdo it with the metallic, just because I'm not really seeing it on the white. Just bear in mind that when this does get hit with varnish, that's going to change. Painting, sometimes it's, anticipating the next thing, right? Knowing what comes next. And I just freaking hit that. Oh well. Lemonade. Making lemonade. I mean, I could cover over that, but I'm not. I'm just going to run with it. Because it's random, just like the actual damage, right? Yeah, it's a big splooch, but, whatever. Run with it. Make lemonade, man. Make lemonade. Okay. Some of this. Just want to place some of these silvers in some of these areas here. Okay, now got all that laid out, so now I'm going to do some deliberately by brush. So chuck that little spongy, grab our detail brush. Let's go like that, and like that, right? This one here we kind of obliterated, but that's okay. Same with this one. Again, that's okay. I'm not too heartbroken about it. Although, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's make this streak just go right across. Yeah, like that. Not so much like a brush stroke, but like a streak of whatever just came across and just slashed that part of the shoulder pad. Yeah. All right. Kim, I like the matte flat white XF2, and X2 is more satin. I think the X, when we're talking X, I think that's gloss, and XF is flat. That's how that designator works. The X and XF. F is for flat, I think. And X, I think, is for acrylic, because the enamels that Tamiya produces has a different designator in front of it. And I think that's how you identify those paints. All right. So we got the metallic down. We can leave that be. I think we'll hit that with a flat varnish, and we'll slap it onto the rest of the figure and see how that looks. That'll be later, because I still need to do the helmet. I might as well do that in a little bit, I guess. What time are we at here? Oh man, I think we're done for the day, kids. Yeah, we're almost done this guy. I think probably I'll finish the shoulder pad today, and I think next episode we'll probably work on the gun, and hopefully, yeah, we'll get this guy done this week. I'm feeling pretty positive we're going to get this guy done this week. I'm feeling really positive. I'm super positive. Where am I here? Kim, I got probably half the line by now, and it's a huge line. Yeah. Kim, go Bob Ross. Happy little accents. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, like, especially on some of these projects, like we, again, it sounds like I'm getting a little preachy here, but we get so worked up about wanting to have it perfect. And perfect is not an achievable result. It's not a realistic, achievable result, especially if you're new to this stuff. If you're like relatively inexperienced with all this stuff, yeah, and wanting perfection and wanting to look exactly like you see in the books and, you know, the magazines and the websites and whatever. Yeah, and if you have not put the time in to learn, yeah, it is kind of it's unrealistic to want, perfection, right? So, you know, basically all I'm saying is just go easy on yourself, for God's sakes. Stop overthinking this stuff. Just give it a try. And if you do make little boo-boos, okay, well then, you know, you'll learn from them, right? See, when I was making boo-boos on this, I was like, well, screw it. I'll just keep going. I mean, like, you know, it just adds to the character. And I mean, once this is all said and done, realistically, you're not going to notice a lot of these boo-boos. You're going to see them in the photographs once I start taking pictures of this. But, but yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not too concerned about it. You know, not too worried about it. Kim, that makes sense. I think you're right. Just by the Tamiya paints I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because like I have some of the gloss colors. Yeah, so like XF is a flat, right? Yeah, so XF1 is flat black, but I think I have a gloss black. And I think gloss black is just X. Yeah. Or this is semi-gloss. This is semi-gloss black. And it's X18. Right? And I think the clears are all X as well. Yeah, like clear orange. My clear red must have just leaked really bad on me. But yeah, clear orange is X28. And that's a gloss that finishes clear with a gloss finish. You can see right through that. So yeah, I think X is gloss, like it has a gloss finish. XF is flat finish, and the enamels, I don't think it's an X. I think it's something else. I don't think it's like an E, something obvious like that, but I think it has a different designator. But anyway, yeah, so that's how you can tell by just the name of the paint, right? And I like it. I like that system because it makes it very clear because, like, especially when I send, like, the wife to go pick me up paints and stuff, you know, yeah, I say XF2. Well, it automatically, in the Tamiya line, is flat white. XF2 is flat white. So even if you don't speak English and you just say Tamiya XF2, or however you would say XF2 in your language, Tamiya knows what color you're talking about, right? So I like that this naming system for their colors versus Citadel or any other miniature paint line. They give their colors stupid fucking names. Like Warpstone Glow. I still get pissed off with it. Warpstone Glow. What color is that? If you don't know the lore of Warhammer and I said Warpstone Glow, what fucking color is that? It's a glow, so it's bright, right? It's a bright color because it's a glow. But what color is Warpstone? If you don't know, then you don't know what color that you're talking about. It's silly. It's silly. All these dumb names. Cheeky Desk Nurgling, awesome. He looks great so far. Yeah, we're almost done with him, the main figure. I'm sure there's little doodads and little things that we'll need to take care of, but yeah. Kim, yeah, it's not a good thing to think you can paint like Richard Gray or Kirill Kanev when you're new. They are some of the best in the world and used the better part of 20 years with hard practice to get there. And some OG, those painter has long art school education. Yeah, exactly, right? It's a lot of years to get good at this stuff. But that's true of anything. It takes practice to get good at anything. Anything. Pick something. You know, nobody's good at it right off the hop. Even walking. Simple human activity, walking. It takes many years for you as a child to develop and just to walk, right? Talking is another one. You know what I mean? Like every human skill takes practice. Kim, so just paint and be happy with what you do. If you only paint and practice, you will get the point you're happy with your own work. You get to a point where you're happy with your own. Yeah, exactly, right? it's managing your expectations and being realistic about your goals, right? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to just hang out and play games? Do you want to get really good? Do you want to enter competitions? Do you want to do this as a side gig, as a living, right? Like, you know, what are your goals with developing this skill, right? Because if it's just a hobby and you're just doing it every once in a while, yeah, sure. I mean, you're going to pick things up and, you know, you get maybe once a week to sit down and enjoy your hobby. You know, yeah, I mean, progress is going to be slow, but you will make progress, you know. Don't be in a rush. Everybody's in a rush these days. Everybody wants the quick solutions. Everybody wants instant gratification, right? And this is not it. I did a video, actually, just the other day. We were talking about this on Way the Brush the other day, and I made a clip of the the point I was trying to make about, you know, 3D printing and painting. And I think, for the large part, miniature painting will be on a steep decline. And as printers get better, as printers can print up whatever color scheme you can imagine, like, it's no stretch that, you know, printers are only going to get better as the future rolls forward. And that will be instant gratification for so many people who enjoy this hobby, right? Get my little Space Marines. I want them painted up Blood Angels. Beep, boop, beep. Prints it up. And I've got Blood Angel Space Marines all nice and red with all the little highlights and doodads and whatevers. Didn't have to do shit, you know? And there it is. It printed it up for me. Kim, I don't, at this point in my painting, don't have the patience to spend 200 plus hours on a model. No, and honestly, me neither. Unless I'm streaming, unless I'm making videos from it. I don't really tend to spend a lot of time on models. Honestly, when I'm thinking of painting miniatures, I treat it like, okay, it's gonna sound really kind of cliche and funny, but like the samurai, right? I got my brush, and does a samurai with his brush, with his sword, does he look to do a whole bunch of things? Or is it all about a single stroke and achieve your goal, right? And so with our paintbrushes, do we want to sit there and do a whole bunch of this? Or do we just want to go whoochoo and get it done, right? Whoochoo, get it done. So that's how I view it. That's how I view it with the brush. And my canvas work is of a similar mentality. I prefer to just kind of get into the color, get to where I want, what do I want to achieve, and then do it. And then I consider it done. Maybe. I might go over it once or twice, maybe change colors, you know what I mean? But that develops as I'm developing the composition of whatever I'm working on. On miniatures, I would prefer to get to just a single brush stroke to do things, to achieve a desired effect, especially if you were looking to create color blends and stuff like that, and achieving it in a single stroke, right? That kind of, to me, feels more like a realistic kind of goal to achieve and, you know, get to that point, like a samurai. Hence, Way of the Brush. Kim, more like a craft than an artsy-fartsy thing. Well, miniature painting is more craft, I think, than art form. As it stands currently, and me looking at it, yeah, it's more of a craft. It's more paint by numbers than it is an art form. As a form of expression. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm sure I am. But I have not really seen a whole lot out there that convinces me otherwise. And I'm willing to change my mind. I will, upon new evidence, I will change my mind. But I have not seen a lot out there that shifts my opinion on that. Anywho, I think we're done for today. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Cheeky Desnurgling for following and subscribing. Huge thank you. And for joining in the conversation today. Yeah. Greenleaf. Have a good nap, Grandpa. Back off. Alrighty. I will see you guys later. I'm back on Wednesday, although I always kind of end up teasing this about, possibly doing another stream later today or even tomorrow. Again, I leave the streams wide open, but I try to stick to a kind of a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time. So it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Of course, if I do a stream or I don't do a stream, I usually post on the socials like Twitter and Discord. So those are always good places to stay informed. But yeah, huge thank you to all of you. I'll see you guys later. Cheeky. It was fun. Oh, good. I'm glad. Kim, it's a few. That Roman guy did a few. The Roman guy. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kim. You'll have to send me a message on Discord or post it on Discord. And on that note, dun 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 dun. I don't have theme music, so I just do the sound. I should just record it and just play it, but it's too much like work. Dun 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 dun.